wanted to work with women and kids. So
Charles Spearman and Nancy Burnett have been married 9 years.
When we're outside of the community, we know that others perceive us as a black and white couple, but inside the house, we're a couple, and we're thinking in the challenges and the opportunities that any other couple has in life.
In the Virginia suburb where Spearman and Burnett live, their marriage would have been illegal prior to 1967. That's when the U.S. Supreme Court struck down laws prohibiting interracial marriage. Richard and Mildred Loving, who are also residents of Virginia, led that battle.
That was a lot of courage by that couple. It was a testament to love, courage, and I think the legal profession to pave the way for the changes that have taken place in 40 years.
Spearman and Burnett, who were both previously married, say if they had met earlier, they would have married then. But Burnett says it may have been more challenging.
because I came from a more conservative, smaller city, a town, and grew up seeing and knowing very few people of color. I can't really predict how my family at that time would have been able to accept that difference.
40-year-old Rachel Lerman knows what it is like to be a person of color in a majority white community.
And a lot of people, I was the only black person they knew. So for me, I always felt, black.
But Lerman's mother was white. Lerman married Alex Diaz-Asper 7 years ago. They have 3-year-old twin boys, Alejandro and Miguel.
We do get reactions, obviously, because of how they look being such a contrast. Usually it's people who are white who will look at them and say, well, how did that happen? And gosh, you got one for mom and one for dad.
Despite such comments, Lerman, whose father was Nigerian, says she believes her children will have a better experience growing up in Washington, D.C. than she did growing up in suburban Boston in the 70s.
Sort of being biracial was something that a lot of people didn't quite get. It's not like, Halle Berry today. There's nothing cool about it. There's nobody, there's no president, or presidential candidate running.
Even before Americans became familiar with Barack Obama, Oscar-winning actress Halle Berry and golf superstar Tiger Woods, both of whom are multiracial, were public figures in America.
This concept of black and white is a very sort of artificial construct, especially in the United States. Americans are starting to recognize that we are not just two races, we are multiple races in this country. We've always have been.
Diaz-Asper is Cuban-American. He and Lerman are raising their boys with a strong emphasis on Latino culture and language that they believe will transcend race. While Lerman is concerned the boys may someday suffer discrimination because of their Latino heritage, in the diverse Washington neighborhood where the boys and their parents live, she says they fit right in.
I'm hopeful that they will feel more connected to American society in general than I did, and that they'll feel less, that they need to be an either or.
And as they grow older, Miguel and Alejandro are living in a country that is becoming more multiracial. The U.S. Census Bureau reported recently a growing number of Americans identify themselves as being 2 or more races. Susan Logue, VOA News, Washington.